You're making 3 major lifting mistakes that are completely messing up your back, and left unattended to could lead to irreversible and very painful consequences. With that said, today I'm going to show you the 3 ways you mess up your back, how to fix it while lifting, and for those who stay till the end, I'll provide an extra tip to relieve some back pain no matter where you are. The first 2 major causes of back pain is either unwanted spinal extension or flexion. We'll cover the third and arguably the worst one a little later, but first, here's solution number 1. When you do squats, RDLs, deadlifts, or even the bent over row, all these have one thing in common. When you perform these exercises, you have to bend over to do them, obviously. But there's a certain way you have to do it so that it doesn't hurt, and to also maintain a straight back. The best way I can describe this is comparing it to Minecraft. So when you crouch in Minecraft, you stick out your butt. The concept is almost the exact same thing in real life, except you have to unlock your knees to do this. It's called hinging at the hips. So how do you do this effectively? A good way to practice hip hinging is on the cable pull-through. So grab a rope in between your legs, hinge at the hips like in Minecraft, and thrust them forward. And practice this 1 to 2 times a week. So when you get good at it, go back to the squat, deadlift, RDL, and row, and do the same thing. But this is just step 1. Without step 2, your back will still hurt. But first, here's the third major cause of your back pain. And it is unwanted micro movements in the spine. And combined with excessive load and bad form, this is what causes many lifters to undergo what's called a bulging disc, which is very painful. So if you want to avoid this, I have you covered with the second solution. So have you ever watched powerlifting and you see them sucking in a huge amount of air and wonder what they're doing? Well, this is called bracing, and it's the act of taking in air, stiffening the core, and consciously holding it there. This combined with hinging at the hips is what prevents the spine from moving in any direction, and will also stop some micro movements in your vertebrae. But there's a certain way to do this. So to help you nail this technique, here's how to do it correctly with 3 simple steps. The first one is to suck in air with your mouth, not your nose. The second is to expand the abs out laterally or to the sides, because if you just stick out your stomach forward, it doesn't do anything, and you just look goofy doing it. Therefore, the act of pushing out to the sides activates the abs and obliques because the abs are responsible for spinal flexion, so if you stiffen them, it's harder for the spine to move. A good cue when doing this, it should almost feel like you're pushing and pulling your stomach in and out at the same time. And lastly, step 3 is to hold the air in your core tight all the way through the movement, and when you're finished with that rep, release the air and repeat the process. So here's that tip that I promised at the beginning to help release some back pain no matter where you are. After you wake up in the morning, or even after you've been sitting for a while, your back might be feeling super tight. So the simple thing you can do is hang from something, whether it's a bar or a tree. Just make sure it's high enough off the ground to where it lets your legs be straight. So now that you learned to keep your back from hurting, how about you learn to become more aesthetic than 95% of men? God and Jesus love you. Peace.